Well, Hunter Biden's gun trial started this week. What are my thoughts as a gun lawyer on it? Find out after this. All right, so famous person presidentially tied trial number 2 has started this week, where Hunter Biden is on trial for essentially lying on his 4473 application. Most of you in the gun community know what a 4473 is, but basically when you go purchase a firearm from a dealer, you have to fill out a background check. And the form that you fill out is called a 4473. It's the form that asks you all the questions, your name, date of birth, all the biological stuff, geographical stuff. And then they ask you a series of questions. Are you a convicted felon? Are you a United States citizen? There's a list of questions at the bottom of the form. And one of the questions is, are you an illegal user of controlled substances? If you mark no on that, and at the time you're marking no, you're also using a whole bunch of cocaine, you've lied on that application. That becomes a federal crime of lying on a 4473 background check form. So that's what Joe Biden or Hunter Biden is charged with in his trial this week, is lying on the 4473 form. A couple of takes that I have on this. Number one is, as a constitutionalist, as a staunch, absolute supporter of the Second Amendment, I don't like this charge. I don't like this crime because I believe it's unconstitutional. Because again, when you read the Second Amendment, it says shall not be infringed, period. There's no comma that says, well, unless you're using marijuana or unless you're using cocaine or unless Nancy Pelosi or somebody says that you're a bad person and shouldn't have it. There's no qualifiers on it. It's a period. And if you think about it, in 1776, they were all probably using some sort of illegal narcotics. Back then they were putting cocaine in the medicine. Cocaine was in Coca-Cola. That's where it got its name from. So it's only, in the last 50, 60 years or whatever, where these narcotics have become illegal and frowned upon. Up until then, in 1776, my guess is that they were using codeine and cocaine and all kinds of mushrooms, marijuana, smoking the peace pipes, whatever back then, because it wasn't what it is now. So when it was passed, they certainly didn't contemplate that people who use any of the things that we would put on the list of controlled substances today couldn't have firearms, because most of them were probably using it and getting it from the freaking doctor down the street. So I don't agree with the law. I don't think people should be prosecuted for lying on that form. I don't think you should have universal background checks. Again, my personal beliefs, get all that out of the way. None of these laws are constitutional. I believe they're all unconstitutional, and you shouldn't have to do a background check to buy a gun. You shouldn't have to not be using narcotics. Is it smart for you to be using drugs and a firearm? Of course not. But constitutional rights don't only apply to smart people. They also apply to stupid people. So on a personal level, as a constitutionalist, I don't like this charge. I don't think he should be being charged with it, but not because he's Hunter Biden. I don't think anybody should be in charge with it. And in fact, you're seeing some new case law come out from some of the federal circuits out there saying things like people who have drug convictions doesn't make them a prohibited person, that some of those things are unconstitutional. And you might see this law thrown out. What I find personally disgusting about it and ironic about the situation is that the same people, Democrats essentially, and the Bidens and people like that, who want to take guns away from everybody because they're anti-guns, they're anti-Second Amendment, they don't want anybody to have firearms, are coming to the defense of this situation and saying, oh, he shouldn't be prosecuted for this. So it's the sheer hypocrisy that bothers me as an individual, not necessarily the constitutionalness of the crime. It's the sheer hypocrisy. If you're going to prosecute Joe Schmo for lying on a 4473, then you damn well better prosecute Hunter Biden for lying on a 4473. If you're going to give me, a law-abiding citizen, grief and tell me I shouldn't have guns because other people out there are irresponsible for them, then you shouldn't allow your own son or a vaulted member of your party to lie on the form while he's using drugs, then take the gun. He didn't take it, but the widow of his dead brother, who he was sleeping with at the time, took it, threw it away in a trash can near a school, and then try and get the Secret Service to cover it up. It's the sheer hypocrisy of it. So on that standpoint, I'm glad Hunter Biden's being prosecuted, because it should be equally prosecuted amongst everybody. It shouldn't be prosecuted against anybody But if you're going to prosecute it, it should be prosecuted against everybody. And the sheer hypocrisy of the same party and the same people who are telling you that you shouldn't have a gun as a law-abiding citizen who's not getting whacked out on cocaine on a regular basis. You shouldn't have your gun, but we shouldn't prosecute Hunter Biden for doing all the things that we think every gun owner does because they think we're all evil shitbags. Then that's the crap that pisses me off about the Hunter Biden situation. Prosecute everybody or prosecute nobody. Don't do any of this selective crap because of who people are. So I'm on Hunter Biden's side in support of the argument that it shouldn't be a crime. It's unconstitutional to tell him that he can't have a firearm just because he's using cocaine. It's stupid and it's dumb, but if it's not in the Constitution, you should be allowed to do it. So I'm on his side from that standpoint, but I'm not on his side or the Democrat side from the standpoint of, oh, you're picking on me, I shouldn't be charged with this, what's the big deal? I lied on a form, because that should apply to every other freaking person you've ever prosecuted for lying on the form, because it's the hypocrisy that's at issue here. So that's my hot takes on the Hunter Biden situation. So I'm going to follow the trial. If anything weird happens with it, gun-related happens with it, I'll let you know. But we'll see how it shakes out. He'll probably be found not guilty because of the Delaware jury that they have and some of the other shenanigans that have been going on in the case. But I hope he's found guilty only because it's only fair that he be found guilty if everybody else does. If he's not found guilty, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it from a constitutional standpoint, because I don't think he should be not allowed to have a firearm. But it's bullshit if he gets not guilty. Meanwhile, other people are sitting in prison for the same crime because their name's not Hunter Biden. So that's my take on it. Thanks for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Till next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay vigilant, and as always, carry on.